November, that means for Bob, he's listening to Christmas music already. I'm not ready to skip what is one of my favorite holidays, and that is Thanksgiving. Everybody wants to serve up the perfect turkey on T-Day, and brining.
Yes,
Brining
indeed.
helps to make it a couple of things, juicy and more flavorful. But this is not like you just dump stuff in there. There's some do's and don'ts when it comes to brining. Colonel D. Stewart and Colonel D. Herbs and Spices here now with some turkey brining techniques. And you brought in the largest turkey breast I've ever seen in my life in order to give us a demonstration.
Absolutely. Now, what I've got here, I've got it down in a solution of salt and sugar.
Okay.
That's already been mixed into the water.
All right.
Into that, you want to add the brining mixture, and that wants to be what I call high aromatics. You're trying to get a little bit of flavor in there, and what the brining is doing is it's actually replacing some of the enzymes that have leached out of that turkey breast since the bird was harvested.
And you get these flavors all the way through down to the
all the
bone?
way in. It's called an osmotic cycle. That's a big science word that's kind of scary, but what it means is that the salt and the sugar will work into the protein, in this case the turkey breast, and it will take these spices along with it. Now these will eventually absorb the water and start dropping down all around the bird.
Now I know this is your collection.
Correct.
Yeah, but generally, what kind of spices are in this?
Anything that's very aromatic. We've got rosemary here. That's usually very good. You could use thyme. We have juniper berries, black pepper.
Okay.
Those things that will bring you some base flavors, and that's what's going to work into the turkey. You especially want to brine if you're going to smoke your bird. I see a lot of folks come in and say, hey, I want to smoke my turkey this year. That's great, but brine that thing first, otherwise it's going to come out dry as toast.
What kind of time interval are we looking at, Jim?
Brining, actually, something this large, we could actually brine this thing overnight.
Yes.
And it would be fine.
Okay.
So, you know, find a little spot in your fridge, or if this were normal times, you could probably leave it in your garage because it's going to be cold enough.
Yeah, true that, yeah.
But these days, you probably want to keep it refrigerated, and it will take on all these flavors. The thing that most people forget is there is salt in this.
You don't want salty meat.
You want to wash it off.
Okay.
So many people come in and say, well, I brined last year, but oh man, it was so salty. They didn't give it a good washing. I mean, this is like taking your kid, you know, and getting behind the ears, because the salt will cake up on the surface.
Sure.
And so you want to get that off of there. Now you can apply anything else, any kind of flavoring you want. You can inject it. You can do whatever you were going to do once it's brined, but that's step one.
This is the base.
And it wants to be a fresh bird.
Fresh bird.
Yeah.
All right. Very good. Colonel D, as usual, with some great advice on how to get your Thanksgiving. I may just cook me a turkey for Thanksgiving. What do you think? All right. Thank you, Colonel D.